Hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry, and today I'm going to talk to you about another film that I believe is severely underrated. Enemy, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Sarah Gordon, and Melanie Laurent, directed by Denis Villeneuve. It's a story about a man who discovers he has a identical twin, but it actually could be more than that. Now, this movie came out back in 2013. I actually remember seeing the trailer when I was in community college. And I thought it was very interesting. And given that this film was directed by the same guy that made Prisoners, I was interested in it. And I kind of like those weird psychological movies. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this movie was phenomenal. It was really good. Um, it's the kind of movie that's somewhat straight to the point, even though there's still like a little bit of slow build to it. You follow this guy. You follow one of Jake Gyllenhaal's characters. You follow a man named Adam Bell. I believe that is the teacher's name. Who discovers one day during a watching a movie, he discovers a man who looks exactly like him, and surprisingly, too identical, too good to be true. To that sense. So he decides to track him down, find him, and to confront the man and let him know that they may have a connection to one another. And there's more to it than that. And for those who, for those who have seen the film and or the movie's been out for over a decade, there's a lot of symbolisms in this film. So what you see here is not all that you've of what the film is actually telling you. Uh, when you're watching it, you see a lot of spiders, tanglements, web-like figures that resembles reflection. You see mirrors a lot. You see a lot of things that tells you that everything around the character is not exactly happening or not exactly what you think it is. And I think it's I think Jake Gyllenhaal's most interesting roles is one of his most interesting um, films to where you see him play two characters, pretty much the double characters, and the trailer shows you there's two of them. There's there and you see how completely opposite they are. Where Adam is pretty unsure of himself. He's you feel a lack of confidence. You feel uncertainty about him. You feel signs of lacking of what he doesn't have compared to Anthony. Anthony is he's an actor. He is very sure of himself. He's pretty much an a-hole. He's a very confident person. And the film, during when they meet, there's a sequence whenever they meet, even the trailer they show where they meet. They actually meet twice in the film where they're trying to figure out who they are, why this weird phenomenon is happening, and why they could essentially have a connection. And one actually, Adam, I believe he mentioned that they could be brothers, which Anthony quickly debunks that possibility. And you can see when you watch the film, it has a unique perspective on relationships, and to its core, it's really about a man who becomes, I would say, not fulfilled or feels prisoned in their relationships where they feel like they have a urge to see other people, see other women. And when you notice both of these characters, both Adam and Anthony, you see somehow they're somewhat refrained, or I would say maybe put on a leash, or they feel trapped in their relationships where they feel they don't have any meaning or not the meaning that they were looking for. And when you watch the film, when you make it to the end, and when you kind of look back on it, you see the film in a whole new different perspectives. And there's a theory about how the spiders could relate to the relationships where the whole situation feels like they're tangled in this environment. Uh, it's a very symbolic and layered film, one that you might have to watch a few times to kind of pick certain things about it, to kind of see what the filmmaker is telling you about. But above all, when the film builds up and when it slowly reveals itself, it slowly starts to make sense. It's kind of like a David Lynch film where you kind of have to be patient. There's certain things that kind of happens in the film that seems a bit surreal, and you may not know what it means exactly, or actually it may not have a meaning at all, or it does. It just may be a little bit harder to decipher. Um, this film went under the radar completely. I remember in 2013 when I saw the trailer, I didn't see a release date. Actually, no, not a release date. I didn't see any theater that was playing this movie. And I think I got lucky one time where it was uploaded on YouTube and I watched it. And I thought it was phenomenal. I thought this was a great film, another underrated flick from A24 that does not get enough attention, especially in the horror psychological aspects on it. This fits in that category of pretty much forgotten films in the past decade that you should really revisit it. I mean, this and Prisoners came out, so Prisoners I think was the more popular film, even though that film is also particularly underrated as well. You want a little with this film, you kind of want to have a little bit patience with it, but when it pays off, it gives you something to really think about. It's very thought provoking. Enemy, comment below, let me know if you have seen it, what you thought about it. Would you recommend it? I highly recommend it because I'm telling you guys. And let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.